Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chandra and I make videos about reading, writing, and all things books. Today's video is YouTubers you should follow based on the genre that you write. We're going to start it off with number 1, fantasy. Now the first YouTuber I would suggest is actually one of the first composers I started following on YouTube, but Peter Gundry. Fantastic writing music. All of it has a very mystical sound and is very appropriate for fantasy writing in general. So if I need a soundtrack to write through that doesn't typically have lyrics, that's the first place that I go. The second one is Mythology and Fiction Explained, and they have just a ton of videos where you can get into different monsters or mythological creatures that you can add to your writing, and it's a good place to at least get started and start finding characters or creatures that will suit your story. If you need to do any research, I would definitely recommend Mythology and Fiction Explained. Number 2, crime. If you write crime drama, then you definitely need to follow Bailey Sarian. She does the fabulous Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays. She has a podcast as well, and she reviews different crimes, historical crimes that are solved and unsolved. And it's a really great place to start if you're looking for some ideas or kinds of things that are happened, especially if you write historical crime fiction. That would be great. But really, she covers pretty much everything. The second one is Christina Randall, and she has a different perspective and a different take on it, starting with her experiences in jail and prison, as well as a bit of background of what things are like. And then she takes all of her experiences and applies that to cases that we're seeing in the news now, so a bit more contemporary. But the way she does it, she gives examples of where people went wrong, including herself, and how things could have been turned around. So she gives a lot of great examples, but also a lot of insight. Number 3, if you write anything LGBT plus related, then you need to follow Jessica Kellgren-Frozard. I think I said that right. She specifically has a playlist called Historical Profiles, and I also just added this in my notes because I actually tried this. There's literally, if you just watch her video then click pause, watch her video then click pause. There's no point in time I have not yet been able to catch a pause of her not looking fabulous. She just looks fabulous all the time. Even if you just follow for the aesthetic, go do it. It will change your life. The second channel is called Them. There's a bit of history there about the LGBT plus community, as well as interviews and conversations with different people. So if you're starting to diversify your cast of characters, I would say that's a great place to start. At least give you answers to some of your questions and give you more questions to ask so you can familiarize yourself with more diverse characters. Those 2 channels I think are a fabulous place to start. Number 4, horror. This is where it starts to get a little bit more graphic, so channels mentioned are not for the faint of heart, but if you specifically like horror, then these are going to be your best bet. I will say it will add a touch of realism for the first one specifically, which is true 911 calls. They can be very, very graphic. They do play actual 911 calls. If you are needing some kind of information about crimes, what actually happened, live witness accounts, things of that nature, True 911 Calls is definitely a good resource. The second one is Lazy Masquerade, and they do a little bit more on the fantasy, ghost, supernatural side, a broad selection as well. More of the creepy monsters, but definitely you have the more like contemporary true crime side, and then you have the more paranormal mysticism fantasy side of true crime, of horror and crime. Those are the 2 for horror that I recommend. And number 5, if you write historical fiction, then the first channel that you should follow is Weird History, where they have, you guessed it, weird history. And the second one is Our History, which is just general historical information. So you can kind of sort by time period or specific events just to get more information, more detail about those. But if you're wanting to bring something historical into your story, those are great places to start. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know if maybe I'll make another one and bring in some more genres. You never know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!